Hi there guys, and welcome to our third tasting. This actually, annoyingly, is the second take because the camera decided to die halfway through. So we're going to start again from the beginning, and apologies, I have already tasted the wine, but it was only about 3-4 minutes ago, so we're going to start from the beginning again. Alright? I'm sure you'll be fine with it. So, it's going to annoy me more than it's going to annoy you. Good start. Right, so the wine we're tasting today is Petit SELVE from the southern French region of COTEAUX de l'Ardèche. It's gone so well already. It's from the Ardèche Valley, okay? And I'm not going to attempt to say too many words in French because I can't. One thing that I will tell you about this wine, it's called an IGP wine, which is an Indication Géographie Protégée, which means it is protégé, which means it is from a particular part of the country, and you cannot call it anything else other than that wine, and it is protected by its very distinctive geography. And for wines, that is very important. They call it terroir, but it is the land in which the wine comes from, and it gives it all its personality, and the style is then defined by the winemakers. Now, this wine is made by Florence and Benoit Chazalon, and at the Château de la Selve, and they are organic, biodynamic wine producers, which means they follow minimal intervention in not only the vineyards but also in how they make their wine. Okay, it is a southern French blended wine, which means it has 3 grape varieties. It can have more in certain places, but this one has 3. Cinsault, Grenache and Syrah. Okay, it is 40% Cinsault, 40% Grenache and 20% Syrah. And those are very important to understand. Cinsault and Grenache, you will get a lot of red berry and fruit characteristics, and from Syrah you're going to get more tannins, a little bit more body, and some more savoury style notes as well. And Syrah is famously produced in northern Rhône and in southern Rhône as well, but predominantly northern Rhône. And this is probably as far south as you would want to take Syrah to get some actual full ripening for the grape. Any further south, it will scorch, it will burn it, you won't get the kind of flavours you're looking for. This wine is, like you said, blended. It comes from 10 hectares of land in the southern Ardèche, and if I click my fingers like this, hopefully, or will have just seen, a map which shows you where it is in France, and more specifically where it is in the actual geography of the Ardèche. Okay? It is 30-year-old grape vines. It is not a well-known region of France in the UK for the wines they produce, but you get incredible value for money here, and that is why it's important. This is £12 to £14 wine. I've found it in a few different websites where you can get it, and I actually got this from the Albertine, so thank you very much guys at the Albertine. This was in one of their discovery boxes, and the grapes and the style of wine that you should get here is what they describe as a fruit bomb. So you should get plenty of red berry, lots of very distinctive fruity characteristics, and that comes from the Grenache and the Cinsault, but then you also have the Syrah, which gives it a little bit more body. The climate, the region where it comes from, is incredibly hot during the day. It gets quite cool at night, and you're going to find that that intensity of heat during the day and that cooling off in the evening means that not only do you get a really well-balanced wine, but you also get vines which have to work quite hard to produce grapes. And because of that, you get intensity and flavour and a more pronounced wine at the end, which is why it's such good value for money in this kind of part of the world. It is a Mediterranean climate. You're going to get winds coming through, or a very particular wind coming through from the south, coming down through the Rhone, heading south, called the Mistral. Sort of cooling influence as well. So these wines have a lot of opportunity to produce really good quality fruit. And I guess really that's all you need to know. I'll put some more information up at the end, but it is really hard land. It's going to be quite chalky, clay-like limestone soil, so it's going to have an intensity to it. Okay, so we're going to do 4 things. We're going to look at it, we're going to smell it, we're going to sniff it, we're going to swill it, and then we're going to taste it. That's all we're going to do. Alright, so look, really nice, sort of bright, pale ruby colour. And then on the nose, you get lots of fruit on there, so some cherry, but predominantly strawberry and raspberry. It is, and definitely some minerally, almost earthy tones as well. A little bit smoky, in fact, actually. And that smokiness is delicious. It's, I think, probably going to be the kind of wine that you're going to want with roasted meats, grilled meats, white or red meat. Actually, it's really versatile when you smell it, so I'm imagining that's what it's going to be like when it tastes. And things like charcuterie and saucisson and those kinds of quite salty but quite sweet styles of southern French charcuterie will work very well. Also roasted vegetables and things that have a little bit of caramelisation and sweetness to them as well. So, let's taste it. Lots of strawberry, lots of raspberry, ever so slightly jammy, so it's got that slightly sweeter, more intensified fruit, stewed fruit flavour. The earthiness is there and it's really smooth, and it's a little bit smoky as well, and that smokiness is going to really play into grilled meats as well, and that kind of what I would call a sort of a barbecue style wine, but very versatile. It's a little bit herbal, and that is sort of maybe slightly thymy rosemary note, but it's very, very light. A little bit of blossom as well, but that's more like cherry blossom and things like that, where it's just so tied to the red fruit flavour that it is so well balanced and a beautiful tasting wine. And guys, that is the wine. Okay, it's Petit SELVE 2018 vintage. So that's a very hot year for the whole of Europe, including the UK, and so you're going to get intense wines from that year. Really good for English sparkling specifically as well. And this wine is perfect for the kind of food that you're going to be eating now. So barbecue style weather's coming in. You're going to get those sort of smoky grilled meats. It's going to work beautifully. Good with a roast chicken, roasted veggies, maybe even something a little bit more hearty. You could work it with a little bit of a sort of beef stew or something, but not too heavy. Okay, it needs a slightly lighter touch, and that's the wine. Petit SELVE 2018. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry the camera went shit.